So, if you fix that one thing, if you just make Lady Macbeth a beautiful, young, naive queen who thinks that they just commit the murder and forget about it, and it'll all be cleaned away if you just don't think about it, which is a big mistake, then everything's going to be okay. She's got a big problem. The problem is she's too naive, but it's not the fact that she's a bad person. But if you, like, I did one production of Macbeth, and I played all the little parts.
Yeah.
So I'm over like cowering stage right, taking notes in my head, and the Macbeth guy made every mistake you could possibly make.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, they laughed at it. During the curtain call, they laughed at it.
That's great.
No, it's horrible.
I know, but it's greatly horrible. It's like epic fail. Yeah. It's this epic. You just oldie fail.
But I took notes like, don't do that, don't do that. Good God, don't do that. Like, don't cower from the ghost. One of the people that he murders comes back during a banquet, and it's his best friend. And a lot of actors go, "Oh God, Banquo, save me!" The guy's a warrior. The reaction, I mean, like, guys, you got fight or flight, right? And you don't pick flight if you play Macbeth. You pick fight. So if the ghost comes up, draw the sword, man. Fight me.
It'd be great if the actor on stage just does that randomly, and the ghost is just like, "What the?" And he gets stabbed.
Jesus Christ.
And he should be stabbed right here, and he lives, but he punctured lung. And it's just like, wow, that was the most effed up ghost stabbing ever. Ghost Busters be danged.
There was one actor, because I did a lot of research before I did Macbeth, and there was one actor, I'm trying to remember his name, he played Merlin in Excalibur. Thank you, Nicole Williamson. Thank you.
Nice pull from the
very
crowd.
good.
Who was that?
Very
Raise your hand. Raise your hand. That guy's bad A.
That's right. But he chose to hide behind Lady Macbeth's skirts from the ghost. And I thought, okay, that's about as wrong as you could possibly get. And then I read, there's only an audio recording of Laurence Olivier's Macbeth. There's no visual recording, but it's legendary. And everyone says that when he met the ghost, he drew his sword, got up on the banquet table and said, "Fight me!" And that's a warrior.
There we go. So, that's Shakespeare. Let me ask you a question. What geek universe have you not been in? For the Lord's sake, man.
Planet of the Apes.
Planet of the Apes and Star Trek. That's it. Have you done Star Trek?
I wrote a treatment for a new Star Trek series. This is why I'm in Star Trek. I was at the very first Star Trek convention, the very first fan convention in the world, in 1978 in Oakland, California. And William was there, and everybody was there. And I had my pointed ears that my makeup friend from Sacramento built for me. I had erased my eyebrows.
Dude,
and I built up my own, like, meticulously built up little whiskers on my forehead.
Oh, that's awesome.
And I had a tunic that I made myself. I had a phaser that I carved out of plaster of Paris, but it looked really good. And a big blonde hat. But I was really popular at the con because my phaser was better than anybody else's phaser.
Nice. So you've been in the Star Wars as a voice actor. You've been in DC.
Oh, I saw the very first Star Wars ever shown to the public, by the way.
Really?
Yeah.
Tell us that story, please.
Why, of course. We didn't plan this at all.
We're going to more too.
We didn't plan anything. I was like up watching CNN trying to figure out if the top kill worked. Which, by the way, it's not going so well. So I was living in Marin. I spent a year with my dad, and he lived in Marin. And George Lucas lived in Marin too. I lived in San Anselmo, and he was in San Rafael. But he invited all of the actor geeks to watch his geek movie. And so there was a little sign-up board on the near the theater. Do you want to see Star Wars? And I was like, well, that looks cheesy. Oh, God, well, it's free. What the heck? And I took my dad and my brother, and we sat down in San Francisco, and we waited for 3 hours.
3 hours?
3 hours. Nothing happened for 3 hours, and we're just like, let's go get a sandwich.
Sounds like episode 1,
ridiculous.
I love you, Lucas. If you can see this somewhere, I do love you. Just saying. Please don't kill me.
But then George comes down the center aisle, and he goes, guys, I'm really sorry you had to wait, man. And the film is not completely done. A lot of music cues are not really finished, and the color correction's not right. And the mats, sometimes you can see the mats around the spaceship. And we were editing the film up in the projection booth. That's why it took so long.
The final cut is...
Oh no, it gets better. It gets better.
Please.
It's a long story.
Hey, you know what? We got an hour.
Okay. So for like 6 months, it was my film, right? And no one else had seen it. And I was talking to my friends. I was a freshman in high school. I was 14, perfect age for the film. And I'm trying to describe this sensation that I had, and all I can come up with, and then there's this golden droid, man, and this little tiny droid. You don't even know how he goes through the desert like that, but he does. And they all think that like he's gone insane. He's freaked out on us. And then the movie came out and it hit, but I still felt like it was my movie, right? And George Lucas was the next door neighbor of one of my friends, and I decided that I would write him a letter. So I wrote him a letter saying that, hey man, you're using old myth here. All this story that you're telling is not your story. It's the basic hero journey. It is 4,000 years old, and good for you for using it again. But it's not just for kids. This myth is for adults and kids together. So don't oversell this movie. I don't want to see any breakfast cereal. I don't want to see any nappy blankets. I don't want to see a lot of toys about this movie. Because if you...
Well, hold on 1 second. I have to cut you off there. Because I do have, like, the two R2s. I'm self-customing one. I know. You do Obi-Wan and then the old school Obi-Wan.
I have like 8 lightsabers.
Dude!
But the best ones are the ones that light up. No, I've got the extendables too. I've got light up extendables. The best one really though is the non-light up extendable because it really is a short thing you can wear and it really flips out. It's only about that long, but you really do feel like you got a lightsaber.
Oh, okay.
I got like 8 lightsabers, and all the kids. When I visit my son in Northern California, all the kids from the neighborhood come when we're there, and we all just run around an orchard with lightsabers.
Because
anyway, so I write this letter saying, don't sell too many toys. Right? And I knock on his door, and he answers the door, at which point my knees go. And I hand him the letter, and then about a month later, his secretary wrote back to me. And he says, George read your letter, he respects your views, you're completely wrong. We are going to sell billions of dollars worth of toys, but don't worry, there'll be good toys. And it was the first time that someone treated me like an adult. It was really like, dude, you're completely on the wrong track, man, but I respect your opinion, but you're wrong. And now I have every Star Wars toy. Like, my son doesn't even want to see Star Wars anymore. It's like,
really?
I'm done. Yeah, because I'm the bigger freak.
That's a heartbreaker right there.
Yeah, kind of.
Let me tell you about those lightsabers, by the way. You know the tips, they're soft, but you flip it, it knocks something right out. I'll tell you a story backstage later, okay? Me and you will talk. No. Unfortunately, it involves big people. Alright, so we've done Star Wars, you've been at DC, which, by the way, greatest Brainiac character ever, I loved it. I've seen it only second to the animated series because it was so calculating, I loved that. Then you also did Spider-Man, with Neil Patrick Harris as Spider-Man in the MTV version, did you not?
Yes, I did.
Yes, I know you did. I had the DVD, and when I saw it, so you made it, I'm like, what?
Who did I play in that?
You played Craven's alter ego.
I was a bad guy then.
Yeah, you're a bad guy. I like how I'm talking your own stuff.
We're
looking for Jessica Frey. Is there a Jessica Frey in here? It's important if you tell me you're Jessica Frey. You win money. Alright, there's no Jessica Frey. Thank you. That was important, trust me, I would not break this. But back to the point here. Battlestar Galactica now.
Yeah.
My favorite Doctor Who.
I met Mary McDonald, by the way.
What?
Oh my God, she's so cool. She has like a light around her head, and it comes out of her eyes, and she just, when you sit next to her, you just feel like, oh, that's nice.
Are you sure she's not Superwoman? Like she's got...
No, man, she's just really smart and really kind and gracious, just really wonderful. Yeah.
And of course, the Whedonverse. I'm not going to go into sections of the... I'm not going to go into sections of the Whedonverse because it's all one. I'm just waiting for the day he makes a comic that all connects together. And it's just like, awesome! Buffy connected to Firefly, connected to Dollhouse. That's great! And Dr. Homo still belongs in there somewhere.
The one thing that I can guarantee you is that whatever Josh writes, Spike won't be in it.
Yeah.
No, this is a good story. This is a good... The thing is that Josh he doesn't like Anne Rice, right? He doesn't want his vampires to sparkle.